Hey Flossy friends, this is Lisha from the Southern Ladybug. This clip is a prequel to my other video clips because I forgot to introduce myself. Flosstube 101, always introduce yourself before you start. I did 2 other clips that you'll see in a minute that I didn't even tell you who I was. So I am Lisha, the Southern Ladybug, and I am going to now show you a few previous finishes and some other kits that I have, not kits, but projects that I have kitted up ready to go, and then get into the regular video that I previously recorded and thought was done. So here's a prequel. How's that? Has that ever been done? I don't know. But I did want to answer one question that I got from a viewer. She asked me how I got my name. And I haven't addressed that yet, or how I chose my name, and I haven't addressed that yet. The Southern Ladybug, Southern, obviously. I'm from South Mississippi, and it's pretty evident in the way I talk, I'm sure. But Ladybug comes from the fact that I am a Phi Mu and was initiated at Louisiana Tech University in Ruston, and then transferred down to University of Southern Mississippi in Hattiesburg. And our mascots were lions and ladybugs. I used to collect lions and ladybugs out the wazoo, and just have a love for that. So that's where my name, Ladybug, this ladybug part of that came from. So I would like to know, are there any other Phi Mus out there watching? And are there any other Greek ladies out there watching? I'm still a Phi Mu at heart. I haven't been too involved in recent years, but was very involved as a collegiate and as a young alumni. I was an area officer, part of the advisory council, and the alumni president and treasurer, and I've done all kinds of stuff, but kind of moved out of that and hadn't been very involved lately, but I kind of miss it. But I do love me some Phi Mu. Couple of previous finishes that I wanted to show. I've tried to show a few little things every video, just to kind of give you an idea of what I'm into. The 2 things that I have, y'all are going to see a theme. The 2 things that I have picked are a couple of other beaded kits. Yeah, definitely a theme. I like sparkly, I like to do the beading, and I like pretty things. And a lot of the new projects I have planned to do next have a lot of beads and Krynic and sparkle. So there you go. Prim, I am not. You're not going to ever describe me and my stitching as primitive, but that's okay. To each his own. Everybody do your own thing. The first one I want to show y'all is Tiger Lily by Nora Corbett, a Mirabilia pattern. I finished her in 2008, so 10 years ago. Probably started the reindeer right after that. Me and Jen did a stitch along, but also made it a competition to see who could finish it first. I think I won. I don't remember. It was a long time ago, but I think I won barely. But she's all beaded. And if I remember correctly, I don't think the face was charted. And I thought she looked kind of creepy. So I added a face, just some little eyes, and a little back stitching, just to give her a face. And this is just a ready-made frame I got from Michael's. 8 by 10. Yeah, fits perfect in that. I love when designers make it fit in regular size frames. I appreciate that. And the other one I'll show y'all is a Mill Hill design. I don't remember the name of it. I've already gotten rid of the pattern. I think I stash and load eBay or something. I don't remember what it was called. Sorry. Glory. Glory of Honor, Glory Heart. I don't know. But it is full of beads. The red and blue are nothing but beads. And the white is just regular cross stitches with a few highlights. It's not focusing very good. But isn't that pretty? And this frame, I actually... shoot, okay. This frame I actually had custom measured at Michael's, but I did all the framing myself. I stretched it and assembled it, put the backing paper, hanger, and little bumpers on it. I can do that myself. I don't need to pay them to do that. The frame itself is expensive enough. And this one was kind of, we added an extra little red filigree in there. I thought that kind of brought out the red. Had a hard time deciding. But Michael's has the neatest thing for framing. You can take your piece in there, your picture or whatever, you lay it down on their counter, and they have a camera on top of it, and it'll snap a picture, and then you pick a frame off the wall that you like, and they'll enter that number, and it'll come up on the screen and show you what it's going to look like in that frame. Brilliant. I thought that was pretty cool. So that helped me pick that and decide what I wanted to do. I thought it turned out really nice. All right, the first, I'll show you some stash. This is the only thing I've bought recently. But on our trip up to Nashville, just outside of Nashville, we stopped in Decatur, Alabama at Cross Stitch Peddler, and I bought this pattern from the Cricket collection, October. I've been seeing everybody doing all of these words and months and holidays and stuff by the Cricket collection. And I'm just really digging them. And so this is the only one that I found just right off the bat. I didn't dig. We weren't there too very long. So I didn't dig or anything, but I saw that one as I scooped it up. And I want to do that. And there's several. Every little Xstitch on Flosstube is doing January, I think. And it's a wintry theme. There's a December. There's Christmas. I don't know what all there is. I haven't looked it up. I think I'm going to try to go 1, 2, 3 Stitch or somebody or Cricket collection and look and see what they all are, what all they have, and make a list. Give that to my local needlework shop, Jen Stitching Niche. And the next big project that I have planned is a series of Mill Hill button and bead kits, the Christmas Village. Jen and I are going to plan a stitch along. We hadn't made the decision on when we're going to officially start that or say that we're doing it or whatever. But we wanted to do this together, and we went through and picked several of the Christmas Village button and bead kits from Mill Hill that we liked, and finally got all those in and got all my beads organized and ready to go. And we picked, I don't know if she picked the same fabric, but this is what I picked. And it's a 28 count opalescent linen called Whimsical Winter from Under the Sea Fabrics by Leslie. And we're going to do one long piece. Isn't that pretty? I got a little bit of a start. Ah, look at me. That's upside down. That's a roof. It's more like a door. Over the door. But I started in the middle so I can make sure that I know they'll all fit. I did some math. That's one thing I did at the retreat, the finishing retreat, after I finished my 2 things. Talk about that later. I set all this out and did some math, made sure that everything's going to fit before I get started. Ooh, that would make me so mad. But I did start in the middle, and I'll work my way out to each side. So make sure I have enough fabric and can decide how far apart I want to place them. Might need to do some more math after I get the first one finished and see how much room it takes up. But I'm not going to put too much space between them. I don't have enough to do that. But I want them fairly close together. So here's the order. I'm going to do 5 stores, houses, villages, whatever, on that one piece of fabric. And then there were 2 others that I really wanted to do. I'm going to do those on 2 separate pieces of fabric and put them on each end of it. That's the plan right now anyway. So for that piece of fabric in line, I've made copies of everything because these are my working copies that I keep, and I put the other stuff up. So the first one in line is Palace Theater. I love that. The next one is Needlework Shop. Gotta have that in there, right? I don't want it. Focus. Stupid phone. Oh well. Okay. Moving on. This is the one that I actually started on already. St. Nicholas Cathedral. I want that one in the middle. I just think it should be the center of town. Isn't that a beautiful church? I love pretty churches. I don't care what denomination or anything they are. I can appreciate a pretty church. Love that. So what I started on was just right here above the door. And I didn't have all my thread in place. You'll see why I changed how I did my thread, because I couldn't find what I needed. So I did just a little bit to get me started and move on from there. These don't take very long in general, so I think I can get through these pretty quick. I'm not going to say that I will do one a month or anything like that. You know, I don't make promises I can't keep. Apothecary. I just liked that one. I thought it was pretty. It looks villagey. And the last one, Town Hardware. Everybody needs a hardware store in your village. Got all the buttons. Little snowman button down there. Look at that hammer above the door. How fun. I don't know if I'll do... I don't know. I'll probably change how all the snow is around each one. I don't know if I'll do like a definitive straight line like that. I don't want them to look boxy on there. I want it to look like one big picture. So I may save that to the end and see what it needs. Get all the houses done and then add from there, fill in the empty space with the snowflakes, the beads. Okay, so the other 2 on either end are going to be the police station. Look at that truck. That's so cool. Little star above the door. That wreath. That's the police station. And the other one is the village inn. I love that. But that doesn't need to be right in the middle of town. So he's going to be down on the end of the lane. Hey, Sam. You want to say hi? This is my Sam. He's a Great Dane. He's black. And he's gray. He's getting old. He's about... How old are you, Sam? 8 or 9, I think. Which is getting pretty old for a Dane. We had a blue Dane that I've talked about before, Jake. And he was 9 when he died. We lost him a little over a year ago. So 9's pretty old for a Dane. But he's too stubborn to get sick and die. Aren't you? He's doing pretty good. He's still pretty chipper and moves around pretty good still, don't you? Okay. This is the project bag that I have that in. Remember I made all those project bags because I was mad at the vast stash of fabric taking up space in my life. So I love ornaments. And then just a green check on the inside. Next one I have is also heavily beaded. Glendon Place Woodland Wonder. I love reindeer. That's my Christmas jam. Love that. I love Glendon Place. They do a bunch of cool stuff. If you ever watch Sunshine Stitchers, Gary did this one. He's got it on, I had it on his wall at Christmas time. Oh, come on. There we go. All the trees are beaded. There's really not a ton of stitching in this. If I ever get it started, that should go pretty fast. I'm going to do this also on Whimsical Winter by Under the Sea Fabrics. And this is a 32 count opal linen. Y'all got to look at the difference in these two pieces of fabric. So this is the 32 count that I'm going to do that reindeer on. It's kind of blue. It's more bluish. And this is the 28 count, both linen, opal linen, that I'm doing the village on. You can see the difference. Look at that. Dang it. And I need more of this. So I'm going to call Leslie and find out if she's bringing some fabric to the Orange Beach retreat. And hopefully I can get that color. That's frustrating. It'll be okay. If not, I'll do a coordinating fabric, or I won't do it at all. Who knows? This is the project bag that I have that in. Just some fun, crafty fabric. Orange. Here's one that's not beaded. Y'all think I only do beaded sparkly stuff. Lizzie Kate series, Less is More. Fear Less, Hope More. Wine Less, Breathe More. Talk Less, Say More. Hate Less, Love More. Aren't those pretty? I hadn't decided how I'm going to do them yet. You can do it like this. That's kind of how it's charted, one big long thing. Pretty typical for Lizzie Kate. They do that a lot. Flip it. I won't focus. Whatever. I probably will, if I have the colors it calls for, I'll do it, but I'll probably just do them in DMC. That's usually what I do. But I don't know if I want to do it in one long thing. I was thinking about maybe a cube. Do all of 4 of them separately and do them around a cube, and then maybe find some kind of coordinating motif for the top and make it a pincushion or something like that. Something different. But I'm going to do that on this pretty light pink. It's called Bo Peep pink. It's 32 count. I've had this in my stash forever from Shakespeare's Peddler. You can't tell that it's pink, but trust me, it is. Just a light blush pink. I think that'll be pretty. And this is the project bag I have in that. This cotton fabric is beautiful. And it's left over from that quilt that I told you about that I made for my mom. And the inside's just the blue that I used for the binding. Or some of the strips, whatever those are called, around the edge to make it bigger. I can't find the picture that I took of that quilt. I don't know if it's on my other computer or where it is, but I can't find that. One day I'm going to show y'all a picture of that. I guess I'm going to have to go home and take a new picture of it on her bed, on her spare bed, but I can't find my picture, and I'm so proud of it. Okay, back to the beading. That was temporarily interrupted by Lizzie Kate. I don't know if I've shown y'all this one or not before. This is another Nora Corbett design. Emerald Dragonfly. Isn't that pretty? This is the fabric that I had. I'm thinking about. I don't know I may change my mind. I don't know. But I think it's pretty. Just a purple. It's a silk weaver solo mini. It's 32 count Belfast linen. Just got some purples and blues. Yeah, that's pretty good. I think it'll be pretty on that because the pattern's got a lot of green and purple in it. So I think that'll be pretty. And again, that's not very big. It shouldn't take me very long to get that done. None of these would take long to get them done if I just do them. This is the project bag I have in that. Puffy dogs. And just a swirly fabric. Again, some of these inside fabrics match, some of them don't. I used what I had, and anything that remotely went together, I made it go together. Jim Shore, it's a Mill Hill pattern. Jim Shore, 12 Days of Christmas. You've probably seen that before. I don't know, I just fell in love with it. There's several ways you can do this. They've charted it to be on one big piece of, you can do each one individually on a big piece of perforated paper. It's not really paper, it's a little bit sturdier than that. It's, I don't want to say plastic, but almost kind of plasticky. You can do it on a table runner. It gives you all kinds of ideas in here, or you can just do it in one big piece like this, and that's probably how I'm going to do that. On this big piece of Jobelin Star Sapphire 28 count. I don't know who it's by, but it's just a very light green. It's not pastel-y. It looks pastel-y in this light, but it's not. Just a green. I think that'll be pretty. I don't know why that's cut. This project bag is a travel theme. Suitcases and trains and planes and cars and boats. That's fun. Zigzaggy red print, matching coordinating print. And the last one I will show y'all is Ornamental Joy by Country Cotton Needleworks. I've always liked that one. I like ornaments. But I am going to do something a little crazy. I don't do well changing colors too much. I can get, you know, if I don't have that particular red, I'll choose another red. But as far as completely changing the colorway or anything like that, I get a little nervous. I don't do good with that. I don't pick colors very well. So I always have to have Jennifer and Sharon help me with that to pick better colors, because I don't do good with that. But I've got this Zweigert fabric that I've had in my stash for years. It's a 28 count cashel linen forest green. It was an oops. I don't know what that really means. I probably got, I don't know where I got it. Maybe Michael's or something. I got a lot of stuff at Michael's when I worked there, and things went on clearance. But it's a really dark, modelly forest green. And I think I'm going to do this joy on that. I'm going to make the O gold krynic. And these red berries, I'm going to make beads. I don't know what I'm going to do with all the other green that's in there. Somebody suggested doing it in krynic. And so I've got a real bright krynic that will show up on there. I may do all the other leaves in that. We'll see. We'll see how that works. I may totally scrap that idea and chicken out. That's probably what's going to happen. That bag is candy canes and a green check. Fun, fun. That's it. That's all I got to my prequel. Then we'll get to the regular video telling you about my progress, the stitching retreat, the finishing retreat, a couple other things that I did, my big elephant rug that I finished. I'm gonna put that at the end, and any other pictures that I find you might like, I'll put those at the end too. Y'all have a great day. Happy stitching. Bye. Hey Flossy friends, good morning. How y'all doing? It's pretty good here. It was a beautiful weekend, sunny weekend all weekend. We had a great time. And this week, they're predicting snow tonight and in the morning. So our town will probably shut down if we get even the slightest dusting of snow or any ice or anything. We do not function well with snow. We don't really like cold weather either, but it's been a little cold this winter, so we may get some. I don't know. Hopefully not. A nice snow day would be nice, but that ain't gonna happen. Well, there's Honey. Bless you. I actually have some cross stitch stuff to show y'all this time. I'm so excited. We had a kind of a finishing frenzy retreat last weekend. It wasn't an official retreat or anything, just me and some stitchy friends got together. Hey, Sam. And just spent the whole weekend completely finishing all the cross stitch pieces that we had stitched in the past years. I didn't get a whole lot done. I didn't have very many things to finish. I don't really have too many things that are put aside that have been stitched but not fully finished. Most of my stuff, I've stitched a lot over the years, and most of it, a lot of it's given to friends, gifts. My mom takes stuff. I don't really have a ton that's in the box that's not been finished. I don't really ever know what I'm going to do with it. It's not that I just don't get to it. I just don't know how to finish it. I don't know what to do with it. I don't have a ton of wall space in my house to frame everything. And I don't really like little pillows and pin keeps and stuff sitting on shelves and stuff. It just gets dusty, and I don't like to dust, so I just don't put stuff up like that. I want to try to do better and do something with most of my stuff, but I don't know how to finish anything. I don't ever have a plan in mind when I start stitching something. I just stitch it because I like it. It doesn't always have to be fully finished. I don't know. I just like it, so I stitch it, and if I can find something to do with it, fine. If not, that's okay too. But I did fully finish a couple of items, and then I spent the rest of the time just stitching on my sleigh. Almost got it finished, but I didn't quite get it all done. But I made a lot of good progress and just a little bit left. So that's good. I'll show you that. I did spend a little time there reorganizing the projects that I want to do next. I took them all with me just so I could kind of go through and play with them and look at them and make sure that's the fabric I wanted. And I had this huge bag of beads that Jen ordered for me. I had given her a list, I don't know, probably a year ago. I don't know when it was. It was close to a year ago. And she ordered a whole bunch of beads and Krynic for me, and so I still had some of those that hadn't been delegated to their appropriate patterns. So I went through that and put all the beads with them and got all that organized. So I'm good to go. Normally I like to pull all my, if I'm using DMC or Fancy Floss or whatever, I like to pull all my DMC and put it in my bag, in my project bag, so I can just pick it up, take it with me. It's all right there. I don't have to get my big box out to pull it each time. I don't really like doing that, and that's usually not a problem because I'm a one start, one finish kind of girl. I don't like having all these whips. Oh, Lord. Y'all are starting to talk about mania, and y'all are just making my head spin. I don't even know. I just don't understand. I watch everybody's videos, and they do a whip parade, and I'm just, oh my gosh, I don't understand. More power to you. Go for it. But my whip parade's real short. I got one. I do have a few others, and y'all have seen those, but I do have a couple of other projects that I did start and worked on for a little bit, but it was kind of a, ooh, I like that. It's springy. I'm going to start something springy. Oh, well, let's do that stitch along with them. And it was a patriotic one. And then the Lila Studio, oh, I forget what it's called now, came out, and I was like, oh gosh, I got to do that. Let Freedom Ring Sampler, that's it. But every time I work on something else, I think about the other thing that's not finished yet, and it just it drives me crazy. So I'm working on this here sleigh, and I'm going to work on it till it's done and move on to the next one, get it done. But I did kit some things to be ready to go when I do get ready for it. And I normally like to put my DMC with my project, but I have several projects that I've put in project bags with all their beads and fabric that I picked out and everything. And I got to noticing that, well, I don't have that DMC color. I don't have that DMC color. And I do have a full set, so it's not like I don't have it. It's just in another bag. And so I was like, no, that's probably not the best idea. So I just pulled it all back out, put it back in my main box, and I'll get it out as I go. Whatever project I'm working on, I'll pull those and put it in that bag and probably work on it till it's finished, so it shouldn't be a problem anymore. Excuse me. But I was going to show y'all what I put all my beads and stuff in. Several of the projects that I've got planned have beads and Krynic and things like that. So hang on just a second, let me get that. For the longest time, I've been using these, they're for storing photos. And these are 4x6. Yeah, 4x6. And they're just little cases. I got them at Michael's. They go on sale for like $1. And they work really good. And I've always kept my beads and Krynic, extra skeins of floss that haven't been bobbinated or something like that for each project. And I just put that down in my project bag, take it with me, and it all stays in there. So since I had several of these projects that I wanted to kit up and get ready, I went back to Michael's, and they had this whole big thing on sale, like this huge container of them. It's got 3, 6, 7, 8, 16? 7, 8, 16 of these little boxes in there. And it's for photo storage, for scrapbooking and stuff, but it was on sale for $15. That's a great price. And that would have made it cheaper than buying each individual one by itself. So I only had like 6 or 7 of them that I really needed for a project, but I have a whole bunch of other pictures that need storing too, so I figured I'd just use the rest of them on that. I have another one of these boxes that is full of pictures already. Can't have too many pictures, I guess, right? So our finishing retreat. I finished 2 things that I had, fully finished 2 things that I had stitched already, and that didn't take me very long. So I got done with that pretty quick, and then just had time to sit and stitch the whole weekend. I had a great time. The first one I finished was my hummingbird. I made it into a pillow with this awesome fluffy fringe. And just a kind of a batik looking pink backing. I realized that I am not a seamstress by any means. I did not do very good getting my edges in there, but this is so fluffy, you can't tell where I didn't catch it all the way, and it's not going to come out. I caught it enough to where it's not going to come out, but it's just fine and nobody looking at it. And the other one, and that is, what's that pattern? Hummingbird by Awesome Pattern Studio on Etsy. Got so many fun things that look like that. And that wasn't a very hard stitch. It is a lot of color changes, but it went really fast and turned out super cute. The other thing I finished was the Oh Say Can You See by Hands On Design. And I did the drum. It's a little lopsided. I didn't get my padding in there right. She's got a great tutorial on her blog on how to finish the drum. The pattern comes with enough of the velveteen to do the drum or the flapjack pillow. And I decided, ooh, I'm going to do the drum. That's cool. And when we first saw these at market last year and they came out, me and Jennifer and Bridget we vowed we were going to do them all as soon as they come out. That's the only one I've gotten done. We were going to do them all as stitch alongs, but we hadn't done that. Anyway, and so then before I actually finished this, I thought, oh, you know what? I don't want to have all drums or all pillows. I'll alternate back and forth. I'll do a drum, and then I'll do a pillow for the next one. Do a drum, then I'll do a pillow. Ain't happening. I ain't doing any more of these drums. I did not enjoy that at all. But look at those cute little pins from Just Another Bunting Company. How cute is that? There we go. I don't enjoy hand sewing anything, and so you've got to connect, just barely catch the velveteen and connect into the stitch line that you do up here. I just don't enjoy it. I don't like it at all. But it turned out okay, except it's lopsided. It really shows up in the in the video. Okay, hang on a second. I'm going to go close the door so they'll quit barking. Sam can't help himself. He just thinks there's people out here he's got to talk to. Okay, so I got those two finished, and then I worked the rest of the weekend on stitching on my sleigh. This is what I'm working on, the Nora Corbett Santa Sleigh from the Christmas Eve Couriers series. I got all the deer finished. You can see those in a previous video. My very first video, I think I showed those. And they're so pretty. And this is so pretty. Nora Corbett. I got all that done. I really worked on the front part of the sleigh. I got all the bottom done. Figured out where I screwed up down in here and just kind of worked it in. You'll never know. See if you can see. Can you see the sparkly fabric? It's on a opalescent 28 count something. I don't know. I've had it for 10 years. Who knows? And I bead as I go, so I've got all the Krynic and the beads, and it's so sparkly. I love it. All that's left now is just up here in all the packages and letters. There are really more letters than packages, it looks like. It's a lot of white and gray. I got all the fun stuff done already. But what I like about hers is her stuff stitches pretty quick. There's not a ton of color changes in most of them. There's big blocks of color and little to no back stitching, which is super. So that's all I've worked on. I've got some progress, or I've got a couple of crochet projects ongoing, and This is another octopus I'm working on. That's what it looks like until it's put together. That's the underneath side. It'll go up under here, and I have to attach all the tentacles together. And that is a very tedious process because I have to put it together, keep everything lined up, all the stitches lined up, and then I'll go up one side, get all the way down to the end, and when I'm coming around the other side, I have to do a little bit, stop, stuff it, go a little bit further, stop and stuff it, because I can't get it, they're too long, you can't just stuff it after you get done, so you gotta stuff as you go, and that's very tedious. Once you get everything all in your hands set up and you're crocheting along, then you gotta stop and stuff, so it takes a while to get that all done. Come on, focus. And the other project that I've been working on is a baby shark. One of the girls I work with, her little girl Harper Kate, is the cutest little thing ever. And I've made several things for Harper Kate over the years. She's about to be 2. And I've made a couple of mermaid tails. I made an elephant that she loves. All kinds of stuff. So a chicken hat for Halloween. She has the cutest little chicken. Oh, so cute. Made a rooster hat. And whatever Harper Kate wants, Harper Kate gets. More like what Mama wants for Harper Kate, but whatever. She's still cute. So her birthday, I don't know when her birthday actually is, but her birthday party is this coming weekend. And it's baby shark theme. And that is I don't know if that's big where you are, but everybody is singing Baby Shark down here. Baby Shark, do, 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 do. Maybe I'll put that as my intro music. Wouldn't that be fun? Y'all need that stuck in your head now, because I'm definitely not going to sing to you. Anyway, the only cute little baby shark pattern I found ended up being this big, teeny tiny. So I was like, well, okay, I'll use bigger yarn. So I tried that, bigger yarn, bigger hook, and got it a little bit bigger, but it still wasn't what we wanted. Wasn't big enough because she wants to put one of those little voice recording boxes inside of it and is going to record Baby Shark song and stick it inside the Baby Shark. So when Harper Kate squeezes it, it's going to play Baby Shark. I asked her repeatedly, are you sure? Sure you want to do that? I don't want to hear it when it keeps you up all night playing Baby Shark. She said, well, the batteries will eventually run out. And I think it runs on just regular, like, AAA batteries. So, okay. Because it's going to be all sewn up. She can't get back into it to replace those batteries. So once it's dead, it's dead. But it still wasn't big enough for that. So I got this pattern off of, I don't know, either Ravelry or Etsy. I don't remember. It was just a cheap little pattern. Baby Chum is what it's called. Chum the Shark. How cute is that? And I said, well, I'll just double the pattern. Sounds good, right? Sounds easy enough. Well, I don't write patterns. I don't know how to do that. I can read them and that's fine. I've got to have a pattern to be able to do anything. I'll alter a pattern a lot of times if it's not coming out just like I like it, or if it's kind of wonky or lopsided or something. I can alter it a little bit, but I've never just completely written my own pattern. So I consulted with some fellow crocheters on one of my Facebook groups, and I said, I want to make this about twice the size. Can I just double everything? And they were like, well, yeah, and gave me some tips on how to do that. So, okay, I can do this. No problem. So I went through this whole pattern line by line and doubled and figured out stitch count that I needed and the increases and then the decreases and all that, and basically rewrote the pattern line by line. And I tried it out on just regular yarn because I ultimately want to use that soft fluffy chenille yarn that I use on the all the other Cuddle Buddies that I've done, the octopus and everything else. So this is how big it ended up being with just the regular yarn. And that's pretty good. So it'll be just a little bit bigger than that with the fluffy yarn, and I think that'll be a good size. And then she can hopefully, I don't know if she's gonna be able to squeeze it like that, make it play, but I think Rebecca got the one that has a little cord attached to it with the activator. So I'm gonna string that up and put it near the tail or something, and she can squeeze in here and be able to get to it a little bit easier and make it play. So it's pretty good. It's not the head looks a lot better than the butt. Actually, I think I'm gonna make this in the head next time so I can cover up with an eye my color change right there. The color change ended up being on the side, which is fine, but I didn't think about that when I was putting the eyeballs in. I just picked the best looking end. So I gotta tweak this a little bit and figure out where my increases and then my decreases need to be. So it'll be fine. I thought it would stuff out better, but I couldn't get that stuffed enough. It'll be fine. So I'll show y'all that, or at least a picture of it, because I got to have that done by the end of the week. So I may not be able to show that on a video. I may pop in and just do a little clip. I did get the big elephant rug done. It turned out great. I will probably I did do shoot a little quick video snippet of that before I took it to her to give her and show y'all how big it is. It's so huge. But I also try to put some pictures in probably at the end, because I haven't figured out how to cut the video and put pictures here or here. I don't know how to do that. So I'll just put them at the end, and you can see how cute it looks. She sent me a picture of it in front of her crib. She's got her room all set up and ready to go. Baby's coming this week, I think, baby Gavin. And it looks so pretty. She loved it. I think I kind of made her cry. That's kind of my goal, is to make somebody cry with my stuff. I love when people send me videos of their kids playing with their animals and loving on them and sleeping with them and everything. It makes me so happy. Just makes me so happy. I love it. That's all I know of right now. I may come back and shoot another quick little clip tomorrow and show you a few other things that I've got in the works. That's all I can remember today. I did want to give a couple little shout outs. I've been watching a ton of Flosstube lately, and I've been trying to find new to me people and even new people and try to watch some of their videos. Some people I've found that have been on there have lots of videos, and I'm just now finding them, but I've been watching several people and just trying to find some new ones. Hang on just a second. So a few of the people that I've really been interested in lately are Every Little Xstitch. She's got some really pretty stuff she's working on. She does a lot of diamond painting too. And she does some really pretty mirrors and all kinds of stuff that I really like her stuff. And Madam Ice, and she's a fairly young stitcher, and she does all kinds of different crafts. She sews, she quilts, she's made project bags. She's kind of into everything. She does a lot of stuff. Check her out. She's really, really cute. And then I always like to watch Misty Pursel from Luminious Fiber Arts. She's a designer and dyes fabric and does all kinds of stuff. She's a multi-crafter too, and she does some really pretty things. She's got a new pattern that she just released, and it's super cute. So I think that's it for now. We're getting ready, not this coming weekend, but next weekend, we're heading out to another retreat down in Orange Beach, Alabama, a Katrina Boyd retreat. And that's going to be so fun. We've been the past at least 2 years, 2 or 3 years. And it's just beautiful down there, even in February. And the weather is usually just perfect. You can get out and walk on the beach. It gets a little chilly at night. The wind blows, but it's just beautiful. And our conference room that we sit and stitch in has got a whole wall of windows that we can just look out on the beach, and it's wonderful. I'll get up a little bit early and go take a walk on the beach, see if I can find any shells or anything. It's just really nice and relaxing. I love that retreat. That's my favorite. And then we come back, and less than a month later, we're going to market. Me and Bridget are going with Jennifer from Jen's Stitching Niche, and we're going to be her lackeys and help her get through market. We did it last year for the first time, and I had a great time. It's so much fun. I was a little overwhelmed, but we're more prepared this year, and we'll do fine. So y'all be looking out for look at Jen's Stitching Niche on Etsy. We'll be loading all those new patterns up ASAP and be ready to go. So if there's anything that you want, let her know ahead of time, and I'm sure she can accommodate you. All right, guys, y'all have a great day, and I'll probably come back and do one more update tomorrow before I load everything up, but I just have a few minutes before I go to work. So y'all have a great day, and see you later. Bye. Good morning, Flossy friends. This is a 2-minute update, just a quickie to show you my elephant and my elephant rug that I've got to take and deliver today. So I wanted to just do a quick little clip to show you how it turned out. It turned out so good. I had to clean off my kitchen table to be able to spread this thing out in order to sew the ears onto the head and everything. It is so big. My craft table's not quite big enough. So first up is my little elephant. She's the girl I work with is decorating her son's nursery in elephants, and it is super cute. She showed me what she's done so far. Grays and blues. It's so pretty. And she's due in February, so I had to get this done. This is the elephant cuddle buddy. Isn't he sweet? I did something a little bit different this time. I added some hair up here because that's what the rug has. And so I thought I would add it to him, and I liked it. Instead of putting his eyebrows on, the eyebrows made him look sad. So I didn't like that. I've been trying to come up with something else besides that. But he's got a little crooked trunk, and he's just so cute. Little floppy ears. How sweet is that? And I got to stand up for this. I told y'all it was huge. I barely could get it folded and put in a bag. I measured it. It is 5 feet 4 inches wide, which is taller than me, so I can't even reach it out. And it is 3.5 feet or so from tail to head to trunk. Look at that thing. I'll insert some pictures with it on the floor so you can kind of see what it looks like down, but I just had to show y'all what this thing, how it turned out. It turned out super cute. She's gonna love it. So thanks for watching. Bye.